Standing on the top now. No, nothing can move you.
All right, so somebody asked me today, Robert, what is your thoughts on Israel and Palestine? I'm going to give you my thoughts on Israel and Palestine. Let me see if I can bring myself up here. Come out of this. Bobby, what's your thought on Israel and Palestine? Here's my thought on Israel and Palestine. There's a lot of mess going on with this thing. I believe a lot of this is manufactured consent. And I believe it's a distraction of something that's supposed to be happening that we're going to miss. It usually happens when election season just getting ready to kick off, some kind of crazy off the wall thing. Now, this beef between the Palestinians and Israel has been going on for a long time. If you take a look at with me, I want to show you something. Put that there. Palestine had majority control of that region. And somehow, some way, with the return to Israel movement and with Western dollars, they was able to flip this map from yellow to green. They couldn't have did it without money from the U.S. I'm reminded of Africa and certain parts of Africa like Ghana and all that, the year return, they were asking black people to come, black Americans to come home. Well, majority of black Americans in this country are not from Africa. They're native here. I'm not saying there's not some that are from. There were slave ships that came here, but the numbers of slave ships do not add up to the amount of people that there were black Native Americans here. We were trading back and forth from different parts of the world before the settlers came to this country, before when the land mass and the water mass was totally different, man. We were closer to these regions. We were closer to Europe at one time. We were known as Turtle Island. I can go through the whole story on that, but I don't have time. We've been here. We've always been here. Black people always been in this country. We're not immigrants. Most of us are not immigrants. The people who were brought here from slaves, that's not an immigrant. They didn't migrate here. They had no choice. They didn't migrate here for a better life. They were stolen. They were bought, bounded, and shipped here without their will. So no, they're not immigrants. We're not immigrants. Now, some lately, because of the new, with the immigration laws, now it's easy for people from Africa to come here through visa programs and things like that, which most people coming to this country should be able to go through these type of programs, not an open border where you can't control and gauge who's coming in and who's not. Now, you keep looking at this. 1917, all Palestine. 1917, all Palestine. Let me play it again. Let me go back. 1917, Israel's settlement was over here. But thanks to U.S. dollars, they began to take over certain settlements of Palestine. And I would say by hook or crook, by pure force and dominancy. The United States supplied Israel with guns. The United States helped Israel develop their country and their government. The United States did. The United States endorsed them taking over as much as they can. Why? Because we needed some allies in that region of people who are not too fond of the United States. And why are they not too fond of the United States? Because the United States, we're just big bullies. And we see something we want and we bully our way and get it. That's the American way. That is called upholding American interests. American resolve. That if we see something, we're going to get it. If we see something we like, we're going to get it. Either you're going to work with us and make it happen easy, or you're going to make it happen the hard way. But either way, it's going to happen. And so that's how the U.S. helped Israel take over most of Palestine. Now, I want to talk to Christian people right now. I'm a Christian. I'm a confessed Christian. What's really called Zionists. Real Christianity is real Zionism. This Israel version of Zionism is hateful. And it might get me knocked off this channel. But there are too many people, I'm not saying all, but there's a segment of Israel society that oppresses the Palestinian people. Totally have full control over the Palestinian people. They control whether they get in and out of those regions that they took over with U.S. backing. Again, Israel could not be the organization, the government it is right now, without the U.S. The U.S. needs Israel. That's why Benjamin Netanyahu can talk any kind of way to Joe Biden or any other leader in Congress. Because you need him. He's the only force you have to keep an eye on the Middle East. He leaves, you have no eyes in the Middle East. Nobody likes us in the Middle East. Nobody. Except Israel. Why? Why they don't like us? Because we play preferred games. We only want to occupy their land because we want to take what rightfully theirs. The Iranian people are not fond of us because we put sanctions on their country, hoping that it will cause them to turn on their leaders when they know what's up. Same thing with Iraqi people, same thing with the Syria people, same thing. It doesn't matter. They look at us because they know what we do. And the World Human Rights Organization said it is the United States that's a danger to the world, not nobody else. Not Hamas, not Hezbollah, not Al-Qaeda, not ISIS, none of them. Now, don't get me wrong. These are evil terrorist organizations. Let me stop for a second on that. There's organizations that they feel that the way we can get the edge in certain situations and gain back what we lost quick and fast is we have to go to extreme measures to do it. I don't endorse that. But there was a time where black people couldn't take it enough. They labeled Nat Turner the first black terrorist. Nat Turner had enough. And guess what he did? He went in and caused a revolt. And he died. If something was happening in that area on the Palestinian side, it was a revolt. It was a revolt against what's been happening to them in that region. They don't control the water. They don't control the electricity. They don't control the entrance into a hospital where you can get good, decent health care. They can't even get the supplies to their hospitals, the supplies to build up their kids in school. Everything that gets done in that area, they have to go through Israel to get it done. And Israel know they have power over them, and they like to thumb it in their face. They like to exert it. And sometimes rightfully so. I mean, not rightfully so. Sometimes they use it and abuse it. And if you keep oppressing, depressing, beating down, bogging down, deny, neglect, take away from the people are going to get upset and rise up. And you're going to have some that's going to do it through extreme measures. Now, I don't know if that's how Hezbollah and and all these terrorist organizations how they came to be who they are, but let me tell you something. It is not right to surround the people and control them. Literally control them. The people of Palestine can't get nothing done outside of Palestine. They could do whatever they can do in Palestine, and they have done. They build settlement homes, houses, and everything, schools and everything. Try to live a normal life in that open air prison, in that cage, that huge cage, surrounded by, they're doing whatever they can. It's just like black people. We had to do whatever we could with whatever we can. And once we start building up and start looking good, it gets destroyed. And that's, to me, that's what I'm seeing. That's my opinion. Oh, but they killed a whole bunch of babies. That was debunked. That was a flat out lie. So, folks, when it comes to stuff like that, please, please, please question your government and what they're presenting for you. The government loves to try to start a narrative and hook you in that narrative. And once he hooked you in, he can control the whole narrative. He can't control it if you don't bite the hook. When I heard that they chopped off the heads of babies, I'm like, yeah, right. Really? And the images they showed was doctored up image. It was AI image. It was actually a dog. They had what looked like a burnt child and a doggy pad. It was the Photoshop pictures that they had of a baby burnt up, but the baby burnt up was in the dog bed. Come to find out, it was a Photoshop. They cut the dog out and put a burnt item up there to make it look like a baby. See, that's the level of propaganda and manufacturing consent that some people will go to get your support on this effort, on any effort. They'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll do whatever they can to get you on the side. This federal government, that has been confirmed by the office of the Prime Minister of Israel. The Prime Minister of Israel is going to say anything to try to get the American public on their side. These people are doing whatever they can to get the American public on their side. I can't even watch a YouTube ad without them putting this lie up there, because right now it is not proven. It is not factual. There is no evidence of it. They tried to come up with the evidence and come to find out it was AI evidence of children with their head being cut off in prison or being burnt. No pictures, no videos, no confirmation of children's heads been taken off. But yet they spin this talking point as if it's fact. And all the news reporters starting to spit this. Why? Because they're pro-Israel. They don't never talk about the many deaths have happened in Palestine because of Israel aggression and Israel oppression of the Palestinian people. And like I said, don't get me wrong, the story and the real spirit of Israel and the real spirit of Zionists is not this crap. It's supposed to be of love and of accepting of everyone and the building up of everyone. No controlling, no terrorizing, no domination, but free to love and walk in greatness through faith in God. That's what real Zionism is supposed to be. But these so-called people who are supposed to be the carriers of that message ain't carrying jack. And when I see the Christian church sit there and fall right in line with that crap, I question the Christian church. These people are lying, and you sitting up here quoting the same line. You're supposed to be the Christian church. No validation, no proof. Well, I believe I trust what you can't do that. Even the scriptures tell you, out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let it be established. You need some witnesses, not he say, she say. I'm calming down, people. I'm calming down. I'm coming down. I'm going to show you another one. Rashida Tlaib made a plea in support of Palestinians. Now, I'm not a fan of the squad, and the squad dropped the ball more than anybody. They never take a shot. All they do is dribble, mostly with their mouth. So this ain't me caping for Rashida Tlaib, but she's been hammered, man, because that's her nationality. She's a Palestinian by nature. By birth. And they all keep coming to her with the same talking point, and she over here running from these people. No, don't be running from these people. Like, yo, stop all this, man. What proof that you have that actually happened? I'm not going to be going by nobody's propaganda. Just because you say it don't mean it really happened. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. We went to war and a lot of people got killed. We ain't found no weapons yet. Oh, the Syrian people are using gas and all that on the kids. Couldn't find out that wasn't true. Wasn't true at all. These people say anything to try to get you to be compassionate toward their side. And in the case of this particular conflict, they will dog pile and crap on you if you ain't on their side. Look, I'm like, look, first of all, I'm black. I have a right to make my own judgment. That I'm a chill in the cut and take a look at this. But right now, it look like shades of what you did to us. You surrounded us. You kept us oppressed. You kept us on the plantation. Wouldn't let us do what we want to do. Whenever we tried to do something for ourselves, whenever the going got good, you came in and interfered and destroyed that. Or you looked for a reason to destroy it. How in the heck you going to get airplanes and drop bombs on black businesses all because of one person kind of tripped over a white woman and mistakenly fell on her and touched her? You burned a whole town over that. And a lot of times, people will come up with some of the weirdest, crazy excuses to destroy what you got so they can continue their dominancy and their control over you. Now, it is not right for Palestinians or Hezbollah or Hamas or whatever you want to call it, Hamas. It is not right for them to go around killing innocent Israeli people if that's what's going on. But likewise, it's not right for Israeli to be killing innocent Palestinians. And stop using Hamas as an excuse to kill Palestinians. It's just like Madeleine Albright killing kids just to try to get to the terrorists. It's a justifiable killing. Get out of here. There's no such thing as justifiable killing. You can do some things in self-defense. If that person is trying to kill you, you do whatever you need to do to survive. But you don't intentionally harass and oppress and dominate to the point where it started to damage the community in that area, because that's what's been going on forever since they came back to that particular land and inched their way into full dominancy of that territory. That's my point of view on this situation. First of all, I'm not distracted. I'm laser focused. The only thing I think about is what politician is going to push reparations, and that's who I'm going with. I don't care what Jimmy Dore's views on Cornel West. I don't care what Tim Black say, and I love Tim Black. I don't care what Jimmy Dore say. I don't care what. I mean, I love RBN, and I love to see young black brothers and sisters go out there and do right by the country and push things that's going to help the country. But at the end of the day, Cornel West has the best policies, and Cornel West is against this type of stuff, even though he's a Christian and he has to talk to both sides and tell both sides you're wrong. People will take that as both sidesism. Both sides are wrong. If you are a terrorist organization, when I say both sides, if you are financing or pushing or supporting a terrorist organization to clap back on. All right, let me see. Can you still hear me? I lost my sound. To clap back on, if you're trying to say it's okay for these terrorists to clap back at the people in Israel, that's wrong. Innocent people. Now, the people who try to attack you, oh yeah, it's on. But innocent people in Israel who are not supporting the war, who don't have nothing to do with the war, who not even in agreement with them oppressing you, and you want you to have your freedom, they shouldn't be attacked. Just like innocent people over here in Gaza and all that, they shouldn't be attacked either by Israeli soldiers, Israeli police, which they have a history of doing that. Oppressing innocent people and attacking innocent people is not good for nobody. Stop it. Now, you defending yourself, you saying enough is enough, you had enough of the oppression, you have enough depression, and if you got to be like those brothers on the boats, slave boats, when they came up here and say, I'd rather die in the ocean than let you oppress me, are you freaking kidding me? We're prideful people. No. If I can find a way to take over this boat, I'm taking over this boat. You can call me whatever you want. The people of Israel have been oppressing Palestinian people, have total control of what they do, what they can have come into that area, force food and supplies. They control the electricity. They can control the water. That in itself is unfair. That in itself is a type of terrorism, but nobody wants to say it. Anytime you have that kind of power where you can abuse it, that's literally terrorizing people. Terrorism and terrorism is the ability to bring terror to a community. Terrorize a community. A person who terrorizes a community is a terrorist. They don't have to be involved with no organization. If you enjoy terrorizing people, if you are using terror to oppress people, to fear bait people, then you're a terrorist. It doesn't matter what country you're in, you're a terrorist. Are you terrorizing people for the sake of your people? That makes you a terrorist. Whether you're on the Palestinian side or whether you're on the Israeli side. Now, most of Palestinians do not support terrorism. I say most because I can't always talk for everybody. Because you do have some Palestinians that are in the terrorist organizations. And you don't understand why and how terrorist groups get formed and the purpose of them, why they do it. You may not like it. You may not agree with it. And it could be downright wrong, but there is a why. The people of Palestine want freedom. And they have not been able to get freedom. And anytime they try to push hard to get freedom, it is never given to them. I can go into the story of Alan Dershowitz and Cornel West, and man, Cornel West kind of cut into Dershowitz, and rightfully so, man. You can't sit there and not say Israeli people didn't do no, the Israeli army and the Israeli police have not did horrible, terrible things to the Palestinian people. Why you think Hamas is clapping back sometimes? These people are clapping back because they tired of what's going on. They're not ISIS. They try to put a name under them as if there's an ISIS group. They're not ISIS. Now, don't get me wrong. They terrorize people. They use terror. Some have used and destroyed, or some have destroyed innocent life. That make you a terrorist organization. A bunch of people who go around terrorizing people is a terrorist organization. Ku Klux Klan, terrorist organization. Nation of Islam never went around and terrorized nobody, but they call them a terrorist. The Black Panther never went around and terrorized nobody, but they call them a terrorist. But here you got the CIA, the FBI, all that be terrorizing people. And they be enlisting people in other countries to go around and terrorize people. So they can have full control of what happened in a particular place or region. And for decades, we've been supporting, funding, and even training, and vice versa, them training our police department, Israeli soldiers. A textbook schooling on how to control a people. The United States have been the best at it. The best at it. Doing what they can to subjugate black people to keep them under. And the Israeli people have done that to the Palestinians also. The Palestinians have not done that to them because Palestinians don't have the power to do that because they have no power. Heck, they can't even keep on the power because they don't control the light and electrical grids. And right now, Israel is trying to starve them out, saying, we're going to bomb these neighborhoods, so I'm giving you time to get up out of these neighborhoods. And the people saying, no, I'm not leaving my neighborhood. Why are you going to bomb a neighborhood? What my neighborhood got to do with what some organization possibly did to your people? Why you want to bomb my neighborhood? Oh, I know why. You want to demolish. You want to have an easy way of demolition so you can come in and take that territory. Nope, I'm staying right in my home. If you have to kill me, kill me. I'm not going nowhere. You see this thing? All this is a game to move these people out of certain territories. We're at war with you now. Oh, you done messed up. You done messed up. We're at war with you now. You better leave that area. We're going to carpet bomb you. And go where? And how? You control every border around me. How can I leave, sir? And is it possible? The UN says it's impossible for these people to leave and go to another area that quick before they bomb. And why you want to bomb our town? Like I said, we ain't got nothing to do with what some terrorist organization do. They might be on our side. They might be some of our people, but they ain't got nothing to do with the country. It's like the United States. The United States go out and terrorize people too. The United States services, the military and things like that. In some cases, they terrorize people, but they ain't got nothing to do with American people. So why you want to hurt us? Because of what your soldiers did over here, why you want to terrorize us? We ain't got nothing to do with that. So that's my take on Israel, man, and what's going on. You say, are you going to support the Israelis?
Oh, no. No. No.
No, I can't support this effort of carpet bombing the people out of their land. To me, it's just like 9/11. Easy demolition. I want that area. I'm not going to have dump trucks and a cannonball to come in and hit against a building when I could just blow it away. I just need an excuse to shoot missiles to knock down all these settlements that they built in that area. And then we can build on top of that because we done drove them out. Inching its way to totally dominating the area now. Having full control of the region. They don't want the Palestinian people there. But the Palestinian people ain't going nowhere. So I'm going to build around it. It's just like these greedy realtors around here. No, I'm not moving out of my house. That's okay. You ain't got to move. I'm going to build around you. And if need be, on top of you, because I just bought the air rights. I'm going to leave you smothered around this. You should sell your house and take the millions while you can. But since you're not going to do that, I'm going to make you wish you took the millions. So that's my opinion and my view on the Palestinian situation. First of all, stop listening to this. Don't sit here and buy these lies of what happened where and when and stuff like that unless they got some kind of proof. Don't buy that mess. I had a lot more stuff to talk about. It's getting late. It is 3:24. Jesus, how long have I been up here? 2 hours and 8 minutes. Folks, I only got up here to try to test the new software. I got different things I could put. I got a video board now. You used to have a soundboard. So when somebody talk trash and I can say, man, somebody started talking trash or something like that, and I don't agree with it, I could just sit there and hit this and say,
Man, sit your dumb ass down.
or I could tell her, look, if she come in my face, look, folks, if they come to you asking you about this, just tell them this.
Mind your damn motherfucking business, bitch. Mind your damn motherfucking.
Or I might get on and I have a hot topic and I can say, look, man, this topic today, man, let me tell you something.
Like it's about to go down.
I got these little sound clips I can put up here.
Sit your ass down.
Yeah.
I would up. Shut the.
Alan Dershowitz.
I would up. Shut the. I would up.
You know,
shut the.
What these people are doing in media when it comes to this war is they basically doing this.
Oh, the deception, the betrayal, man. You deceived me.
This baby situation had people on my job asking, well, why? These people are horrible. These people are barbaric and blah, blah, blah. That's the talking point. Look what they did to the babies. They say that and you just automatically believe that. You haven't learned that this federal government will make up stories and lie and do whatever they can to manufacture consent to get you to be on their side, to support them in doing something that they should not be doing. And they know they should not be doing it, but they need your support to do something that they should not be doing. And then they can turn around and say, hey, this is something you asked us to do. Stop believing these media outlets. If they say something as wild and crazy as that, you have a right to doubt it. You have a right. All right, show me proof. You say that happened. Let me see some evidence. Who said that? When they said that? You know? For an example, let me see if I can go back to this lady. Her name is Sarah Snyder, this lady right here. All right, so she said in this particular thing, and we're almost done. The statement is here. Jackson Hinkle said, in my opinion, you should be fired from your job for reporting 40 dead and beheaded babies. The story at CNN without asking for shared evidence. Unfortunately, you will probably be promoted, which he's right. Am I showing this up here? All right, let me get this up here. Then she clapped back at Jackson Hinkle saying, well, first off, I never reported anything about 40 babies ever. I should get it right, and so should you. Well, here's what she said. Yesterday, the Israeli Prime Minister office said that it had confirmed Hamas beheaded babies and children while we were live on the air. The Israel government now says today it cannot confirm babies were beheaded. You hear what that say? The Israel government said it cannot confirm. In other words, it was using he say, she say. Bull crap. And then she said, well, at first, I never reported about 40 babies ever. But yet the people clapping back at her and say, you are a shameless person who's still working for the media channel that support the lies. And this person said, yes, you did. And this person put the video with her saying it. And we saw this, but I'm going to play it again. So she said she didn't report this, but she did. You hear it from a horse's mouth. Somebody put it, says she said sorry, but the video of her spreading lies still posted in most of the social network. Yeah, you can't go back and get that stuff off when it's in the public sphere. And manufacturing consent that some people will go to get your support on this effort, on any effort. They'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll do whatever they can to get you on the side. This federal government, and you got people like this fool that wants you to back it. Like, for an example, Anthony Blinken. This is what Anthony Blinken had to say.
For you, not only as the United States Secretary of State, but also as a Jew. My grandfather, Maurice Blinken, fled pogroms in Russia. My stepfather, Samuel Pizarro, survived concentration camps, Auschwitz, Dachau, Majdanek. So, Prime Minister.
Now, he's trying to pull a heartstring right here. The United States has done more atrocity than any terror organization. I love my country. I love it. But I don't like the way some of these government officials handle world affairs. And I'm not super knowledge on world affairs. I'm a domestic guy. I like to stay focused on my community issues because I work in the community. My life is in the community, and I try to stay in my lane. But some of these guys are so slick and slimy and cunning about how they handle world affairs. It's basically not only white dominance in the world, but it's United States dominancy in the world, right along with that. And here's Anthony Blinken going through his story of his life and how we need to get on the side of Israel because these Palestinians, they need to go.
Mister, I understand on a personal level the harrowing echoes that Hamas's massacres carry for Israeli Jews, indeed, for Jews everywhere. I also come before you as a husband and father of young children.
So Hamas hate Jews everywhere. And this is in Hamas edict. I don't know too much about Hamas. And I don't want to know too much about Hamas. And I can care less about Hamas. If Hamas is a terrorist organization, they're no different from Al-Qaeda, and they're no different from Black Ops in the United States. I don't care about these people. If they're going around killing people, innocent people, all of them need to be brought before the World Court. All of them need to be tried. All of them need to go through the punishment of war crimes. All of them. I don't take no sides when it comes to idiocy and evilness. My question is, why is Israel not letting these people be free? That's my question. But you want to talk about Israel, how great they are and how evil the Palestinian, not just Hamas, how the Palestinian people are going to get what's coming to them.
It's impossible for me to look at the photos of families killed,
Because you ain't see one.
such as the mother, father, and 3 small children murdered as they sheltered in their home in kibbutz near Oz, and not think of my own children. This was just one of Hamas's countless acts of terror. In a
What about the countless act of terrors, and there's more than one, of Palestinian, Israeli police and the Israeli army toward Africans in that area? I mean, you're talking about the Palestinian people, the way they treat Africans, black people in that area. Black people who are claiming to be the original Jews in that area, the originally Semite people, are being called anti-Semite because they've taken a stance for who they claim to be the original Jews. And you be ready to lock them up, throw away the key because they made a statement like that. The nerves of you. You're not. This is Jew, not this. See, Blinken claims to be Jewish. Now you look at any other region around Jerusalem, don't look like him. Joe don't look like him. But let me shut up before they pull me off YouTube. Don't look like him. But he's going to pull on a heartstring. America need to get around. We need to get behind Israel, and we need to not at one iota, not at all, get around the Palestinian people.
litany of brutality and inhumanity that, yes, brings to mind the worst of ISIS. Babies slaughtered, bodies desecrated, young people burned alive.
All right, I had enough of this. Obama had a drone strike program that killed 90% innocent people. The same people in the category he's talking about. But none of those people got any sympathy. Those bombs burnt people alive, fried children. They claim that these terrorist groups are hiding in the buses, hiding in the hospital, hiding in the schools to justify bombing that entire building, that entire bus, that church, that synagogue, to bomb it. Couldn't find out the terrorist wasn't there. I think they got a terrorist in there, Joe. Well, just bomb the whole thing just to make sure. Let's go get some chicken afterwards. You didn't have none of this passion, none of this heartfelt emotion for these drone strike programs, but you want us to have some heartfelt emotion for this.
Women raped, parents executed in front of their children, children in front of their parents. How are we even to understand this, to digest this? This must be a moment for moral clarity. The failure to unambiguously condemn terrorism puts at risk not only people in Israel, but people everywhere.
All right, Anthony, that statement is profound. You want to continue to fight the war on terrorism, and you want to make it about Hamas, and you want to link Hamas to Palestine. So instinctively, Palestine is the bad guy. When not understanding that a terrorist is just a person who terrorizes. And any person who terrorizes is a terrorist, but you won't label. You want to pick and choose who you label a terrorist. And you can't do that. One who terrorizes is a terrorist. And you got a bunch of them on the Israeli side. You have the Israeli army forces. You have the, people in the army forces. You have the Israeli police forces. Or people in the same thing here in the United States. You got some people in the United States Army that loves to do that stuff. They got in it for that. Likewise, with the local police department, that's what they do. A lot of them got trained by Israeli police, Israeli authorities. So miss me with this, we got to back Israel. No. We got to root out terrorism no matter where it's at. And if it's in Israel, which it is, you need to go there and get them too. If it's in Palestine and it's a terrorist group in Palestine, go and get that terrorist out of Palestine and get them. It ain't got nothing to do with the Palestinian people. And I say it doesn't have nothing to do with the Jewish people. The people in the government are totally separate. There's a lot of people that's not for this crap. And they're not for the occupants surrounding that area. And they've been lied to. They've been told that these people are evil and barbaric. They're being lied to right now that these people are evil and barbaric. And I'm quite sure there's some that's saying the Israeli people are barbaric. And the people, we're talking about the people in the government. My final point on this is let me get out of here real quick. My final point is this. When you push a pit bull in the corner and keep hitting them with the doggone stick, I don't care how kind he been to you, how loving he been to you. He gonna attack you. Is it justified? You're damn right it's justified. Because he's in survival mode. And you put him there by beating on him and beating on him and beating on him. You barely feed him. You barely starve him. You're barely feeding him. You barely give him water. You barely give him. You're brutalizing him. So sooner or later, he's going to attack you. It's just like with the slaves. You keep beating the slave and beating the slave and beating the slave, terrorizing that slave. If he get a chance, he's going to take you out. And rightfully so. It ends the abuse. So when you get a powder keg or an explosive like this, where you keep oppressing and depressing and controlling a people who has enough dignity to say, hey, I had enough of this. Ain't nothing on that. Why are you getting upset and getting mad? You brought this on yourself by surrounding and controlling them. And to this day, you cannot stop because you're talking about cutting the food supply, entryway out, cutting the water off, cutting the lights off. That is dictatorship. That is barbarism. That is brutality. Now, make no mistake. You've done bloodshed to Palestinian people. Your army and your police force have abused and dominated Palestinian people. People want to go get a simple procedure done outside of Palestine and go to Tel Aviv or maybe go to Jerusalem or something like that, and you won't allow them the freedom to do it. Is that right? That's not barbaric? That's not inhuman? Hopefully you got my point of view about this Israeli-Palestine situation. I want peace. I want the Palestinians to have their own place with the freedom to do whatever they want to do. Heck, seeing how the territory was conquered, I'm all for the people getting their territory back, because most of it was done by colonial conquest, domination, and America funded it. These people were pushed off their land. And I know people in the Christian circle say, well, biblically, this is God's land. Yeah, whether Palestine or Israel, the whole world is God's. If you're going to put it that, well, that's holy land. Well, any land can be holy. I mean, just when sin go on in Israel and Israel and Jerusalem and Tel Aviv and all these, man, get out of here. We know that's God's land. We know that's where the scripture talks about God and God's mission to win the world with his love. Well, then why don't you be like God and have a mission of winning the world with love instead of domination and controlling and separatism and imprisonment and things like that? That's not God. And any preacher who's backing this, I question you. You've been fed the lies of the news media, and you've been fed the lies of the politicians, and you've been fed the lies of some of these churches. Anything for Israel. And I know I've been there before. I pray for Israel. I bring blessings on Israel, but I've gotten to the point, ain't no way I'm going to do that. My number one focus is to pray for my people and pray that blessings come to my culture. And even though this is an important situation, I'm not going to get taken off my focus of my culture getting their 100% freedom, especially financially. That is the number one thing on my plate. All this stuff going on around the world, I'm in tune of it, but I'm laser focused. I'm going to tune out. That's why I haven't said much about a lot of this stuff, because it's getting me off my focus. My only issue with Cornel West isn't him running independent and having to struggle and try to find, at the end of the day, I think the Green Party was going to support people. If the Green Party liked They're gonna put him on the. They're gonna check the box for him anyway. If the Greens really like Cornel West, they're gonna check the box for him, no matter who become the nominee. Just because a person nominee don't mean you don't vote for him. Have you voted for somebody who was the nominee? Did you vote for Joe Biden? No. So who say these Greens are not going to vote for Cornel West in the general? And then he's going to get other states that the Greens could not get. So I can understand that is a strategy. I mean, I'm not really focused on that. That's not my main issue. My main issue is this issue of black people getting their reparations. It can be a war here, war there, 15 million people running for office. I don't care. My focus is getting my people what's rightfully theirs. My focus is making sure foundational black Americans, Native black Americans, American descendants of slaves or freedmen, whatever you want to call us, get what's rightfully theirs. Full equality with foundational white settlers in this country. They got all the wealth and we don't. And I'm laser focused on getting that. Solution to Israel is let these people go, Israel. You should know about that, right? Let these people go. They shouldn't have to leave their territory. They shouldn't leave their homeland. Just let them be free like any other country to move about to and fro and have a healthy, wealthy life. Simple. Stop your prejudice. Stop your agitation. Stop your domination. And stop your control. And let them people be a free people. To not do so is what led up this situation anyway. It's not their fault. It's your fault. It's the fault of the Israeli government. When you keep hitting the pit bull, and he's caught up in the corner, sooner or later he's gonna clap back, and you ain't gonna like it.
no.